We can't guarantee control over your life, but when taking on Apex Legends' new control mode, our beginner's breakdown will ensure you hit the ground running, sliding, and gunning. The basics of control. So here's the lowdown. You'll be battling over 3 points, A, B, and C. Hold a point, and your team's score will increase over time. There are no revives in Control. Instead, both sides have unlimited respawns, along with unlimited ammo supplies and healing syringes. Shields take longer to recharge if cracked. Shield batteries are gone, but your shields will automatically recharge after several seconds outside of combat. The trick is that a damaged shield takes just 4 seconds to start recharging, while a cracked shield demands a lengthy 8 seconds. As such, it's beneficial to stick near to cover that you can duck behind mid-fight for a rapid recharge. Break someone else's shields and you know that you've got a full 8 seconds to hunt them if they run. Understand the spawn system. In Control, you can spawn on your home base and 2 closest zones, but only if those zones are owned and link back to base. That sounds a little confusing, but just look at the dotted lines on the map. They'll link B all the way back to your base. Start on the A side and control all 3 zones, and you can spawn as far forward as Zone B, but lose control of A and you'll only be able to spawn at your home base. Cutting off these respawn routes can have a huge impact on a match, as we'll get to later. Oh, and spawning is also done in waves, deploying every 11 seconds. Pick your spawn point as quickly as possible, because you might catch the front of the queue and be back in the action within an instant. Boost your ratings with objectives. The primary way to upgrade gear in Control is via ratings. Effectively a single life level up, your rating increases as you perform actions, but you'll reset to 0 should you die. Upgrading your rating will also charge your ultimate. So, how do you gain rating points? You'll earn them for kills, sure, but objectives are the real high scorers. Capturing zones, defending zones, and attacking enemy players on zones will all net you points. Play the objective well, and you'll ramp up your rating far faster than by hunting kills alone. You'll also gain a bonus anytime you complete an action with your squad mates, so work together. Something to note is that spawning on your home base always starts you with 3/4 progress to the next rating, a boost that really shouldn't be overlooked if your team is taking a beating. You'll also score more points for killing higher rated players, with the prime target being the current ratings leader. Build a lead with bonuses. Timed events will pop up in the top left of the screen and offer a bonus chunk of score to the side that controls the listed point when the timer ticks down to 0. The first bonus will always be for holding point B, making that a key priority. Keep an eye on the capture indicator. Shown just under the team scores are 3 banners marking points A, B, and C. They don't just show who's in control of each zone though. You'll be able to see any time a point is being captured or neutralized. The banners will fill or empty of color when one team outnumbers the other inside that zone. If your team is in the lead and defending B, keep an eye on these markers to spot when your wily opponents are sneaking around to capture a point behind your back. That's the signal for a few defenders to drop back and interrupt the steal. Watch out for lockouts. Capture all 3 zones at once and you'll trigger a lockout, starting a timer of 1.5 minutes. It's basically like putting your opponent in a chokehold and forcing them to tap out, only with far more bullets and smug robots.
You're welcome. I love you too.
You won't succeed at a lockout often, but you'll still score standard points during the timer, extending your lead massively. And if you're on the side gasping for air, grab a vehicle. They spawn either side of your home base and will let you zip around to your enemy's furthest point. It's by far the most reliable way to steal a capture back and deny the shutout. How to succeed in Control. So that's been a lot of learning, but how do you actually improve and win your Control games? We can't cover every scenario, but here are some general tips that'll have your team in the zone more often than not. Attack B right from the start. While not technically necessary to win, holding B is the real path to victory in Control. Defending is easier than attacking, and if you win the initial engagement, your side will sport better gear and a forward respawn point. Grab a vehicle and get the bulk of your team there as quickly as possible, leaving just one squad to snag your closest point. They'll arrive as a vanguard, with powers charged to back you up. Lose that initial contest, and it might be worth directing the bulk of your team to assault your opponent's closer point, A or C, instead. Snatching their home base will stop them from extending a lead, and deny their forward respawns. Move in bulk. Because of the high player count, lone wolves in control are liable to be gunned down in seconds. If you're hoping to retake a well-guarded point, you need to move in as a group. Unleash your abilities in tandem to flush out the opposition. If you're running solo, however, you're in for a challenge. Expecting a rabble of randomly assigned teammates to coordinate better than grade school toddlers is optimistic, to say the least. You can try communicating, but if your team isn't listening, it's usually best to work with their aims rather than attempt to assault 6 entrenched enemies on your lonesome. Swap characters or loadouts, and play your role. You can swap legend and loadout on each and every respawn in Control, allowing you to be extremely versatile. At the beginning of a match, mobility is key. Pick characters like Octane, Maggie, Wraith, and Valkyrie, who can get to points faster. Once you secure B, however, swapping in a Watson or even Caustic onto your side can make retaking an utter nightmare for your opponents. Ah, the sweet smell of victory and electrified toxic gas. Use your ultimate. And finally, we mentioned this earlier, but death is a total reset in Control. You'll lose everything you earned in the previous life. So don't get precious about holding on to your ultimate. If the time seems right, let loose. You'll charge it up again anyway as you keep increasing your rating, meaning it's possible to unleash several in one life if you play conservatively. Those are all our Control tips, but what have you learned? Share your advice in the comments below. And if you're after more tips and tricks from us, check the videos appearing on screen shortly.